Ahoy! Welcome to the Piper's Work Table. First thing, I just want to say thanks for tuning in again. I know it's been quite a while. Figured I would expand upon that a little bit for those who are curious. It's going to be a little bit of a figuring out process. I haven't really figured out exactly where or the best way to set up the camera anymore. Due to some serious lead contamination, we had to leave the farmhouse. So on one end, it's of course good to get out of the toxic environment. I mean, we're talking like there was so much more lead paint than we thought. It was in the HVAC system. It was in the pipes. It was in the well. There's pretty much no escaping it. So we really had no choice. We had to move on from it. And I lost the solarium, which is actually really heartbreaking. So I lost my smoking room. And I'm gonna miss that room. It was perfect for it. Those cedar lined closets were perfect tobacco cellar. Just the overall ambiance of that whole room was just cool, man. So c'est la vie. Moving on. We're still smoking pipes. We're still collecting backy. So today, now I made a video about this a long time ago, but wanted to get right into things today and send a cheers and a nod to Mr. Mark Spade. If you haven't checked his channel out, go check it out, Mark Spade. And he does some really cool tobacco reviews. I find that we share pretty similar tastes. Now what I like about his channel particularly is he gets into some philosophical discussions, and he has some cool videos where he's out, you know, hiking around and stuff, and he lives in a totally beautiful area with some great scenery. Just an enjoyable channel to watch. And I guess he's been on a break too, and he's just come back, and he said that he has been on a Latakia, however you care to say it. I'm going to start saying it Latakia, just to see how many people I can piss off. But anyways, so we're going to smoke some Latakia heavy blends. It's a time of year, right? I don't know about the rest of you pipe smokers, but this is like the time of year I look forward to the most for various reasons, but one of them is revisiting some of the heavier Englishes and the Balkans that I just love so much. And one of my favorites so far for the Latakia heavy is no other than GLP's Gaslight. Now this is a mysterious, primordial, just raw powerhouse of Latakia, and like insanely good aged red Virginias and Turkish Orientals. It's like deep and dank as a mysterious cave or some old cedar tavern hidden deep within the damp forest. This stuff is good. But anyways, with this, you can see this was committed to the jar on December 31st, 2020. So this is almost 4 years old. And I noticed that it was getting a little bit, in some areas, you can probably see that a little bit, some mold going on. So I figured, you know what, I better start smoking through this. The gasket on my jar seems totally fine. It's totally clean, you know, it looks brand spanking new still. So I'm not really sure why that is. People who have more experience in aging tobaccos can maybe comment. Now this is a pretty moist, dense plug when you get it, so I'm sure that contributed to some of it just being trapped in this jar for 4 years. But anyways, I figure I better start smoking through this before that overtakes it, because there's still plenty that's untouched, and You know, probably not ideal to smoke tobacco with mold on it, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. And if it tastes bad, I'll stop. But if it's enjoyable, then I mean, consequences be damned. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna smoke some of this beautiful Gaslight brownie plug cake, whatever. My daughter calls it a brownie. She thinks it smells like brownie. Some people think it has a manure aroma, which I can see. It does have a really funky fermented, like aerobic breakdown kind of smell of, specifically to me, horse manure and damp earth and straw and hay. You know, cedar bedding, feed hay, sweet rotting grasses, a little bit of compost. I totally get that, which doesn't really sound like something you'd want to smoke, but if you are at all a seeker into the dark esoteric mysteries of Latakia, then you know when you smell something this deep and rich and earthy and musty, it's like it's inviting you in for something really spectacular. But over about, we're just gonna say 4 years because we're close enough. You know, we're less than 2 months away from this being, I guess we're just over 2 months away from this being 4 years old. But anyways, for that amount of time, honestly, it smells just as pungent and potent, pretty much the exact same aroma as the day I cracked the seal on the tin. If anything has changed, it's maybe some of that compost type smell that people associate with some really heavy Latakias has maybe given way to more of a earthy smell, more of a forest, soil, decaying leaves. You know, like maybe if you can imagine the smell of being in a cedar forest where it's quite aromatic in the spring when the sap is running, and maybe there was a large campfire made with lots of cedar and other various woods, and it is a couple days old, and there's been rain, and just all the smell of this ash and lingering campfire smoke smell, the cedar, the moist soil. It's like I feel like that paints a pretty good picture of how this smells. But anyways, we're going to get into that. Now, some recommend that you smoke this out of a small bowl. I've smoked it out of a small bowl several times. It's pretty good. It's very slow burning. Sorry, I realize you can't see all of my face. I'm just a talking mouth. It's good if you don't want to smoke for a long time, because this stuff is very cool burning. It can be a little difficult to light and to keep lit. But I have, honestly, my opinion is a medium or a large to extra large bowl is quite nice if you pack it loosely and get a very sharp knife. If you don't have a very sharp knife, get a like double-edged razor blade so you can push cut and cut really thin flakes off of this, and then you can really crumble them out, and that seems to do a pretty good job. So let's see. So I like to use this. This is an extremely sharp knife, and it does pretty good. I mean, it's almost as sharp as a razor blade. And this stuff is it is thick. It's honestly, it feels like taking a knife and shaving the bark off of a damp log. Now, I'm not going to get too greedy with the slicing because I have some in the bottom that can be broken up. Let's see. There's a nice little... start with that. So let's get into that way. And then just really, really break it up very well. This too will be good for me, so I can kind of chuck some pieces out that look like they have some mold on it. And you know, don't be afraid to be quite aggressive when breaking up tobacco like this. You're not going to hurt it. Now this, get that nice in there. And that is a lot of tobacco for this one because it burns slowly. And today we're going to pack this into my newest acquirement, and this is a antique Nørding pipe. I acquired this from Bishop Pipes off of Etsy. Really, really cool shop if you want some cool estate pipes, and he usually reams them clean and the rest is up to you. So if you don't mind putting a little elbow grease into it, you can get some really, really nice pipes for very cheaply priced. And this one had a lot of, I don't even know what it was, just a lot of like black gunk buildup. And I haven't even taken it to a buffing wheel or anything yet. This is literally just with water and a brand new dish sponge. And it's already cleaned up quite nicely. So I will hit it with some no buff wax and shine it a little bit and see how that sits in, and then I'll probably hit it on a polishing wheel and rebuff it at some point. But yeah, really cool. You probably won't be able to see it there, but I mean, you can see how beautiful that grain is. The nomenclature is pretty worn. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it at all, catch a glimpse of it, but it's Nørding, made in Denmark, and it's got a number 4 stamped on it. So I'm not exactly sure what year it's from, or decade for that matter, but just I love the Nørding pipes. I love this pipe. It's got a massive bowl. You know, I have a pretty big thumb, I have pretty big fingers, and yeah, that's hefty. So we're going to pack it into there. I've only smoked a couple bowls out of this so far. Really a great smoker so far. So I'm pretty excited to try this Gaslight out of it. Now you want to pack this stuff pretty loose. Really just, you know, get it in there and kind of let gravity pack it for you until the very, very end. And now I'm pretty full, and that's pretty loose, so the rest of it I'll pack as tight as needed. Get my backy brush. You know, this is something that I just started using recently. If you've got a good work area, this is really convenient for getting all those leftover bits of leaf. So you go, you can see that was, now this is packed loosely, like I said, which you want to pack this stuff loose. That was a massive amount of tobacco, not even close to filling this bowl, even packed loosely. So I could probably fit half that in there again, which is like, wow, I haven't filled this with anything that will smoke this long yet, so who knows? This video could be 2 hours long. I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah, so let's get into it. Stand up here. Now what I have found for this blend and other blends that are hard to light, this is kind of an old school way of getting your pipe going, and a an older gentleman showed me this many years ago, and I've had pretty good luck with it. So basically what you want to do is we're going to get an initial char, and take your time and really get the whole top lit. Okay, so you get the whole top lit. You get 4 or 5. Wow, that has an excellent flavor already. 4 or 5 good puffs out of it, and then let it go out. Like, let it completely go out. So we'll just give it a second to rest, and give that a second to rest. I'm going to pause this for a second, and I'm going to move some stuff around really quick because we're going to let it go out completely. You can relight it immediately once it goes out. I'm going to let it rest for like 2 minutes, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this is totally rested. Oh, I just remembered I have tea. This might be getting cold. I'm having a nice Bengal slice. Well, Bengal spice. Okay, so anyways, you let it go completely out. Take your tamp and get a really good even press. Kind of pack that down. You don't want to use too much force, but enough to get it kind of spongy, right? You want like a nice spongy top layer, like moss. The texture of like pressing on moss. So you can see that's nice and uniform in there. And then light it as you would a normal bowl, and that usually does a pretty, that seems to be the ticket for some of the harder to light tobaccos. Ooh. This stuff is smoky. The age of it is immediately right along with the smokiness. I can get some of those subtle undertones of that really nice Virginia sweetness. It's like there's this taste at the tip of the palate that's the taste makes me think of the smell of like really high-end leather. And then there's this really rich, kind of that raisiny, bordering bubblegum kind of flavor that you get from some of the aged red Virginias. And I'm not positive, but I think it's like a Carolina red Virginia in here. And then just spicy, very incense-esque. There's like constantly like the wall holding the line right up front and always in your face is that like booming, robust and savage, just like a lot of Kia power of those like herbal, vegetal smokiness notes. This is definitely not a blend for the timid connoisseur of tobacco. This, I would say, this is for the diehards for sure. Getting a little bit of moisture. It's very spicy in your nasal area. You get that really up front. Now I've noticed on this, which could take quite a while the size of this bowl, but this, with the age, this tobacco seems to change a lot as you smoke it. It really hits you at the front of the palate and the nasal area at the beginning of the bowl, and it works towards the back of the palate and like unlocks more these sweet, kind of almost oily Maduro type smoky notes, and even some notes of chocolate in some kind of like more like a dark chocolate kind of flavor, maybe some cocoa powder, cacao nibs, if you will. Well, I'm getting a lot of moisture off of this. I don't know if that's from me, or maybe I didn't let this pipe rest long enough between the last bowl that I smoked. Maybe I drooled some tea in there. I don't know. Anyways, excellent tobacco. GLPs is probably one of my favorite contemporary tobacco blenders. I haven't had anything from him that I am not immediately enthusiastic about. I really should do some videos about some of the Old London series that I've been really enjoying. I've got a few other GLPs tobaccos that I've yet to try and are unopened yet, so we'll get into those soon. You almost get, and I don't remember this from when this stuff was fresh, but you almost get some of those kind of vanilla custard, egg custard kind of notes at the very bottom, that if it wasn't for so much Latakia smoke and Oriental spice, might hit like the faintest aromatic, like the faintest bit of like black Cavendish, which I'm pretty sure there's none of that in Gaslight. I don't remember actually. I think it's just Turkish Orientals, Red Virginias, and a heavy amount, an armored division amount of Latakia. Yeah, so I am just picked up a wood lathe, so I'm going to muscle that in out of the back of the van into the shop and probably mess around with some of this hardwood that you see on the shelves behind me. So anyways, that's it for now. I'll try to be making some more videos. I bid you all a very fond Saturday evening. Go enjoy yourself a heavy bowl of Latakia. Let me know your experiences with Gaslight. If you've aged it, let me know if you had issues with some mold coming out too, or if that was, you know, a flaw in my aging process. And check out Mark Spade's channel. Anyways, cheers.